Today I'm unboxing the most coveted handbag from Coach in 2025. Every time this bag is either released or restocked, it sells out in minutes, and I have missed it every time until now. So I'm going to open up this box, show you all the details, show you what fits, or maybe more appropriately what doesn't. Plus we'll do some mod shots because there are a few different ways to carry this bag, and I want to see what the most comfortable and most practical ways would be, because this bag could be a little awkward. And since this bag is sold out again, I'm going to give you several options for affordable alternatives that you actually can get your hands on today. Plus at the end, I will give you my thoughts on what I think of this bag and whether I think it's worth the rather high price point. So stay tuned. And welcome, I'm Autumn Beckman, and I'm here to help you live your most luxurious life within your budget. I post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those and so you don't miss my daily community posts where I share the best sales of the day and fabulous handbags that I find. Also, don't miss my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop. That's where you'll find handbags and accessories I have for sale, as well as the My Handbag Collection organizer. These are planner pages that I've designed to help you organize and curate your handbags and your life. The heart of which is the item tracker. This is where you can record everything you'd want to know about your handbags and small goods. I also have several trackers for things like wish lists and purchases and shipments, plus a few pages that help you track how and how often you use your items, as well as calendar pages in a variety of formats so you can find what works best for you, plus so much more. Okay, this came in quite a large box, so let's get that open and see this bag. I'm very anxious to see it. And it's going to be very obvious when I show you that, or when I pull it out, what this bag is. Gosh, any guesses? Let's get her open. It's out of the plastic and out of the foam, and all the other stuff is now off. This is, of course, the Coach Kisslock frame bag, the giant oversized one from the spring 2025 runway. This one, however, is in a brand new color called Black Currant. Now, I recently did a video where I showed you the Juliet 38 bag in the color Black Currant, and I compared that color to Merlot on my Empire 40 bag, and I had intended to also compare that color to Maple. So while I'm thinking about it, let's do that now. You can see it here. There's a little bit of glare from the light. They're a similar tone, but certainly Maple is brown and the Black Currant is more red. It's closer to the Merlot color. And one of the things I said in that Juliet 38 video is that I wasn't sure I'd be able to justify that really large bag when I already have a really large bag in basically the same color. So why then would I get this one? Well, because it was available and I could. That's why. It's hard to pass it up when it keeps selling out. And it is a beautiful color. Now, can I justify having both of these bags? I'm not sure yet. We're gonna find out. The price point on these, I believe, is the same. Both of these bags are $695. So both quite expensive, but also both special bags and newly iconic bags for Coach, I'd say. Let me put this back. I'm going to show you this one in a little more detail, and then we'll do all the other things. And by the way, I will have my video linked below that went over all the bags from the spring 2025 runway where this bag was introduced. So if you're interested, you can see all the colors that were shown and the sizes that were shown. And I will go over what was actually released, all the colors and sizes of these frame Kisslock bags. And I'm noticing, I'm sure you've seen this, there's a little indentation here. That's just the nature of this leather being very soft. There's not a crease or anything. But let's come closer. Well, we can't get too close because the bag is so big. But here is the front. There is the side. So you have that big kind of divot where the frame goes in. Here is the back and the other side. So you'll notice here we have two hang tags. The Coach hang tag, which says Coach Leatherwear on both sides. And then the second tag says the Kisslock frame bag limited re-edition 1969. So that was the very first year that Coach released a frame Kisslock bag, but it would not have been this gigantic, and it would have been designed by Bonnie Cashin. We have these two giant spheres here that make up the Kisslock, and of course the frame, which I was expecting might be in more of an antiqued brass, but I'd say it's more gold. No pockets anywhere on the outside of this bag. And you do see there are 2 D-rings on the back of the bag for a strap that I expect we'll find inside. Plus on the bottom of this bag, it says genuine glove-tanned leather. And then when we open this up, I haven't unstuffed it yet, so let me do that. Boy, when you open it up, you can really see how massive this bag is. Wow. Inside, I found the little shoulder strap and a giant dust bag. At least I assume it's giant, haven't unfolded it yet. Unlike the Empire 40, this bag is completely lined in leather, so that makes it really nice and luxurious. No pockets on the front there. However, on the back wall, there's quite a large zipped pocket, and that is lined in the Coach textile that you find in Rogue bags. And since this leather is tonal to the outside, it's the same black currant, it is a big black hole. So having a lighter color organizer in here would probably be pretty helpful. Oh, this leather is so soft. Actually, it feels different on the inside. It feels softer on the inside. I wonder why that is. And I also want to point out that there are these 2 little pegs here that fit into these 2 little holes. So when you close the bag, it helps keep the frame lined up. That's a really nice detail. Now, as much as I love the look of these giant kisslock bags, the practicality of them is what gives me pause. That's my biggest concern. So that's what I'm going to play with in this video with you as far as how to wear the bag. Can it be worn comfortably? Because I've seen a few people do videos where they've decided to send the bag back, or people I know who still have the bag say they don't wear it because it's not comfortable to wear. It's just too massive. So there are a few ways that you can wear this bag. One is hand holding it by the frame. Another is putting it under your arm. This is something I was wondering, is how smushy or how structured is this bag? And there's no structure to it. It's completely smushy. I mean, just totally smushy. And you're not gonna hurt it by smushing it. So I think we all know this bag appeared in Sex and the City, and Sarah Jessica Parker held it under her arm. But one thing I noticed that I haven't seen anybody mention is the way she wore it was not just holding it like this. She had the bag folded in half. So the base of the bag was kind of folded up like that, and she had it like that. And I was wondering if she was carrying it empty or if she had stuff in it, but carrying it empty like this makes me think she definitely had something inside that gave it a little bit of structure, whether it was, you know, prop wallets and things or something else, because this is just flat and smushy. But that, I think, would be a lot more comfortable because that makes the bag shorter, so your arm doesn't have to be, you know, out around the whole thing like that. So let me put a few things in there and see how practical it is to carry it that way. And after doing that, when I set it down, it just collapsed over on me. So that's something to consider. I'm going to toss in what I've been carrying lately. This little MZ Wallace pouch, this Coach Outlet corner zip wristlet, my Louis Vuitton zippy coin, my Louis Vuitton Lunettes PM sunglasses holder, and a Baggu reusable bag in the standard size. And that takes up almost no space in the bag, which is kind of funny, but at least it'll give it a little bit of weight and something else to hold on to. So, I mean, that could work. There's that. There it is from the side. Another person I was watching said that these little spheres get in the way when it's under your arm, and I could see that happening too. Then I'm curious if a computer will fit in. This is a 13-inch MacBook Air, and I was having a little trouble getting it in, but if I open the frame all the way, it does fit in diagonally. And then I can turn it sideways so it does fit in there straight. And this is my old computer. I have a 14-inch now. I think that would fit too. So what you'll be able to fit in here is going to depend on this opening since it's rigid. The biggest thing you could get would have to fit diagonally here, and that's 13.5 inches. So maybe my 14-inch MacBook won't fit in there, but that's okay. I don't carry it around much anyway, and I don't think I'd be carrying a computer in this bag that has no structure or protection. I would probably take that in the Empire instead. The other way to carry this bag is with the shoulder strap. And when you put that on, it looks like this, which is nice. I kind of like that it's just a shoulder strap and I can get it on with one hand, one arm. So that's really nice. And it's comfortable too. That seems really comfy, actually. Oh, I like that. It looks so good. This is the way to carry it. This is comfy. So full disclosure here, when I bought this bag, I was thinking that I probably wouldn't be keeping it, but now I'm leaning very heavily toward this staying in my collection. With that Juliet 38, I loved that bag, like I said in that video, but I did send it back. Did I mention that? I think this one might be a great replacement for that because it checks a lot of the same boxes. And even though the color is so close to Merlot and I have the Empire 40, which is a big bag, this one, the design of it is more special than the Juliet. It's more uniquely Coach, I think, with the frame and the vintage vibes. I love how squishy it is. When I was wearing it on my shoulder, it just conforms to you, which is so nice. Also, I have this bag organizer. I got this for my Baggu bowler bag in a large size. But I think this might work really well in here. So you can see it's not as deep as the bag. There's still some extra space up there, but it's about the same width. And I think that could be helpful. Let me put my stuff back in there. Since that helps things stay contained a little bit, would that be comfortable? That could work. Maybe. Holding that under my arm and having the organizer in there doesn't allow me to fold the bag so easily. So that makes it a little less comfortable because now the frame is up in my armpit. But having the organizer in there and using it as a shoulder bag, that works. And I think that would be helpful. And here's how it looks with that organizer inside. So not getting a lot of sag down there. It's helping it keep its shape. But you can't see the organizer, you can't tell it's in there since it's more narrow. So I think that works well. Now let's go over all the options for the kisslock bags that Coach has released in 2025, because this oversized one is not the only size. They are going to be restocking this bag in the black currant, as well as black and maple according to their website. And this bag, as I'm sure you know, has been done in this pink color too. It's also been done in the signature jacquard with crystals. The official measurements on this bag are 12.25 inches wide, 11.75 inches high, and 7.75 inches in depth. There are also two smaller sizes and they are much smaller. There's a 16 centimeter which is about to be released. Official measurements on that are 9.5 in width, 5.7 inches high, and 4.5 inches deep. So far, I've only seen that in the signature jacquard with the crystals. It has a little top handle. It also has a crossbody chain, and it will retail for $495. And I think that could drop as soon as this week. So if I see it available and it doesn't sell out immediately, I will of course put up a community post like I did with this bag, which was actually available for a few days. I made a few posts about this. I was surprised it lasted that long. So be sure you're subscribed so you can get my community posts. They're supposed to pop up on your homepage of YouTube. If they don't, you can go to my channel, look for the little tabs like About and Videos, Playlists, and there should be one called Posts, and that's where you would find those. They also, early this year when they dropped the spring collection, they released a little black leather one in a 14 centimeter, which is only 5.5 inches wide. It's really tiny. They released it in black and I've seen it in dark brown. I don't know the price, I don't know the official dimensions, because I couldn't find those. What I would like to know, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, is why was there no size in between gigantic and miniature? Because I'm sure a ton of people would have loved a normal size kisslock bag. However, since these are weird sizes and since they're so difficult to get your hands on, I found some alternatives, most of which are much more affordable than the Coach versions. So I want to share those with you now quickly, and I'll have those linked in the description box in case you're interested in getting any of those or looking at more details on them. Now, the first option I want to throw out there is the Fendi First. That typically is far more expensive than a Coach bag. However, I wanted to point them out because on the Preloved market, I've seen a lot coming up lately that are much, much more affordable. Fendi bags tend not to hold their value so well, even though they're beautifully made, fantastic bags. I love Fendi. But bags that started over $3,000 retail are now closer to the $1,000 range. So if you want a luxury bag, luxury quality, and you're willing to pay a little more than the Coach bags, those are a great option. I will have them linked below. Some that I see that are currently available are this light green, this pink shearling, and this pink ostrich, as well as some of the neutral colors. Also over on Etsy, I have been eyeing this shop for a while that makes frame bags. They look so nice. You'll want to read the descriptions if you care whether it's leather or faux leather, because a lot of them are faux leather. They may all be faux leather. Some of them are also fabric, but they're great prices. They look to be very well made. It's a shop out of Australia, so in America you're going to have to consider tariffs on that as well, but that's a great option. Another great option, and so many of you have asked me about this brand over the years, and I've never had any bags from them, Patricia Nash. I found more than three options for you, but I'll tell you about three. One, the closest bag I have found to this oversized kisslock from Coach is this oversized bag from Patricia Nash. It retails for about half the price of the Coach bag, $369. It comes in leather and black or oxblood or maroon. Those two are very similar. Or in suede and cognac. That's gorgeous. And I think the width measurement on this is the widest part. Like not the base, but the wide corner to corner. Because they're measuring this at 16.25 inches wide by 12 inches high by 7 inches in depth. So very, very similar to the Coach bag. It comes with a shoulder strap. It also has something the Coach bag does not have, which is an exterior zip pocket on the back. There is also a medium-sized bag for those of you who would like a normal-sized bag. It retails for $249. In leather, you can get it in cognac, navy, oxblood, or black. It measures 11.5 inches wide. Again, I think that's wider than the base is. 9 inches high, 5 inches deep. Comes with a crossbody strap, and it still has that exterior zip pocket. There's also a third option, which is the cheapest one for $99. It's a smaller one. 10.75 inches in width, 7.75 high, 5.7 deep. Comes in black only currently. There were other colors, but they sold out. It has a top handle, a crossbody strap, and it comes with a little scarf. And in addition to those, I will link a few more, but I thought those were the best options. Now, verdicts on this bag. Like I said, when I got it, I thought I'd probably be sending it back, but now I'm heavily leaning toward keeping it, only because of the price point. I'm going to think about it longer before I decide for sure, but I do really, really like it, and it's a special bag. And I'm finding it comfortable to wear with the shoulder strap, so that's a big bonus for me. Do I think it's worth the price point? That is a trickier question. I don't think that it should be priced as high as it is. I think it should be maybe $200 less. However, I don't know how difficult it is to make a bag that has a frame like this and to get the shape correct versus other bags that Coach does. So maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe it's just because it's a large bag and they charge more for large bags, or maybe because it's a runway bag and they charge more for that, or because it's leather lined. That certainly would take the price up some. But although I think it really should be priced a bit less, I think considering that it is a runway bag and that it's a special bag, it's a Coach Originals, so it's an updated version of one of the original Coach designs from Bonnie Cashin, and it's soft and smushy, which I love. To me, it very well may be worth it, even at that price point that I think is a little too much. So we'll see in the next few days. I just looked at it in the mirror again, and I still really love it. It's probably staying. Have you been able to score any of these Coach kisslock frame bags, whether it's one that was dropped in 2025 or another version of the Coach kisslocks, because they've done many versions over the years? And what is your favorite Coach kisslock bag of all time? I feel like maybe I have a video on the kisslock bags, unless I just thought about it and never filmed it. If I can find it, I will link that below. So while you're letting me know your experience with the kisslock bags and you're checking out the link for the other video, also check the links for the other kisslock bags that I have in the description box, and the link for my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop, for handbags, accessories, and planner pages. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.